verras, seulement ensemble, oui on le vaincra. Où que tu sois, viens danser avec moi. זאת המלחמה של האהבה, רק כולם יחד, כן ננצח. צריך אחדות, בואו נרקוד יחד. כולם עם אחד, unity brings peace in this world. כולם עם אחד, unity brings peace in this world. אם ספרדי או אשכנזי, דתי חילוני, עשיר או עני, זה לא משנה. שלום פיסלם. La capitale de l'humanité, ta magnificence, symbole de l'unité. Jérusalem, ira bira, shel haenoshut, haper shela, Israël ha'ardut. Tu es notre combat, oh oui tu verras, seulement ensemble, oui on le vaincra. Où que tu sois, viens danser avec moi, viens danser avec moi. זאת המלחמה של האהבה, כולם ביחד. כי צריך אחדות, כולם ביחד. Unity brings peace in this world. כולם ביחד. Unity brings peace in this world.
ג'רוזלם, עיר הבירה, ירושלים.
Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom, how you guys are doing today? I hope you guys are enjoying this weekend. Folk, it started cold again. The winter, we started wearing all these winter cloths. You can see this one. So the cold already started entering in our places. Now we're going to wear all these extra fittings on us. That's what is going to happen. So how you guys are doing today? Hope you guys are having a wonderful weather climate there. But here definitely we do go through a little bit of a cold season here. Hopefully we'll go through this one. I mean, as long as snow is not there, I'm good. Because snow is beautiful, but the problem is that the driving conditions. If they're not giving us a driving condition, that's going to be difficult. So, well, how you guys are doing today? How is everything with you all? And let us get back into our action. All these days we were looking into, unpacking all the Gospels, and we were talking about Mark Gospel last time. We unpacked a lot of things, and we couldn't able to finish it. We kept on talking each and every week. I thought that probably we'll just a little bit of deviate from the Gospels and the controversies and the um, what all the unusual events happened in those Gospels. So let's kind of a little bit deviate from those type of topics today. We're going to do with a Paul today. How many of you know about Paul? If anyone asks about you, I mean to you about Paul, like who is Paul? Could you please define Paul? Can you tell anything about Paul? If anyone asks you, what would you say? What would be your answer? Did you ever think of it? Because usually what we'll do, immediately we'll say, oh, Paul is an eloquent speaker, intelligent guy, intellectual person. He's an eloquent, Bible educator, or he has a lot of knowledge, and he studied under the Gamaliel, who was chief of one of the education or whatever it is. So it was and he was from certain place, and he was apostle, and he wrote 13 books, and so many things that most of the books of the New Testaments are written by Paul. So this is what we usually say. But you let us think about this one. Let us talk something about this one again. One more time, folks. This is a serious subject. It's a serious matter, because it is not about the criticizing New Testament or criticizing the Old Testament or criticizing the Christianity. It is just revealing the truth, and definitely it will hurt somebody. And I do not want you to take it so personally, but I want you to go and research on what I tell here, what I say here, so that you can conclude yourself if I am saying right or wrong. And if there is any correction that should be needed, please let me know. I will definitely correct it without any hesitance. And so let's begin. Paul. I mean, Paul, the name is a Greek name or Roman name, whatever. It's not a Jewish name, but Paul changed from Shaul, or Shaul, from that Jewish pact name to a Gentile name as a Paul. So, however, Saul become Paul, and then Paul is staying somewhere outside. Do you know where is the town that Paul was? He was from Rome, a place called Tarsus. Tarsus, a city, a town that is highly, highly, like what I can say. They are eloquent people and philosophers. A lot of philosophical stage were happening there, and it's highly eloquent people around the place, and a lot of debates, a lot of things, explanations regarding so many things in the world. That was a philosophical city and town. From there, Paul, that's the place where Paul was born, and I hope he studied there, and then he claims, or not even he claims, Paul never claimed that he studied under Gamaliel, but somebody else, some other author from Acts chapter, whoever wrote that book of Acts, he wrote that Gamaliel was Paul's teacher. But did Gamaliel knew about this one? Whether Paul was student or not, you never know. It's all, somebody wrote, and we're just reading it, right? So that itself a big confusion. So where in the Gamaliel is there? Why Gamaliel was there in that place and in Rome? How could that? He was teaching everything to Paul, and then after the education and everything over, Paul goes to Damascus, and on the way he met Jesus, and then he became Christian, and then he started talking about the Christianity all across the globe, and based on his you know, work or ministry work. There are so many churches born, so many denominations born in this world, and that's a big history behind him, right? But really, to tell where is Paul come from, why he wanted to be like that, why Paul is like whether he is a Shaul or he is a Paul, we don't know, but he was a Shaul and he became Paul, and now he is Paul. Who named Paul? No one knows till date. It's all hypothetical. It's all very hypothetical. But don't worry, that is not going to be the big subject. But the main of the subject is that um, how come Paul himself self declares? No one told him to become disciple of Jesus. He self declares. Last time itself, I asked a couple of questions about Paul. When Paul went to Israel, why did he didn't go to the tomb of Jesus? Why he didn't go to the birthplace of Jesus? Why he didn't go to the Holy Sepulchre? Or why he didn't go to so many other places where Jesus lived? If he is really, you know, what do you say, looking for Jesus, if he really accepted Jesus as a disciple, when he when he went to the place in Jerusalem, definitely he would have gone and searched for it. But there's no account in the Paul's book that he went and visited the tomb or anything. But one thing he was doing, he was trying to, um, further separate the kingdom. That's what the plan right now as a Jewish nation, that could happen. But what Paul was doing at the time period, and how Paul exhibited, how Paul projected himself. They say Paul is an eloquent person, this and that, but still, then, you know, Paul goes to Jerusalem, and then after some time, but he was not recognized, and then he was chased out. And then Paul goes to Rome, and then Rome also he wasn't given a very warm welcome or anything. Again, he had to go back to the Gentiles. Along with Rome, Paul couldn't able to talk with them or connect with them or anything. Nothing he could able to do. But there are so many examples in this New Testament, if you could see, about Paul. It is very, sometimes Paul tells about himself, sometimes some other people writes it, but still then, in order to get a clarity, so, about Paul, I am asking you guys, do you know anything about Paul? Is this a complete thing that we know about Paul, a small short story? Think about this, folks. Paul was claiming himself like almost like next to, almost like one of the disciples. That when even disciples was confused, like from where he comes, who selected him, and he was giving them a lot of ideas about the Gentiles, how to connect them, how to convert them, everything. Jewish people are not doing all those things because Jesus told them to go to Jewish people, not to Gentiles. So Jewish never went to Gentile. But Paul, he couldn't able to compete with the Jewish people in the Rome, in their synagogues. So he had to push himself to go to the Gentiles. That's what Paul was doing. That's what Paul did it. But in spite of that, there are so many other things which always, having question marks to Paul's existence. Not existence, existence. So think about your knowledge of about Paul. It's very important where we can find Paul and how he operated, and what are the things that he was expecting us to do, and all those things that whether is it right or not, because so many books were found those days, folks. AD 70s or AD 80s, or so many books were found, and people wrote so many things in their books, even though canonical books are compiled together and they put them into a New Testament. But same way, there are so many other books where they're not included into the canonical books, but still then they explain a lot of stories of Jesus in those books. For example, Marcion. Marcion was after 70, 80, 70 or anything, but he was close to the, the younger. I mean, he was close to what I can say. Marcion was closer to, like he wrote a gospel. Same thing like what is the New Testament. So Marcion wrote a gospel, and then and in that gospel, so there are so many things that it is. Sometimes it is against of certain things what they're practicing in the um, in the Christianity. So you know when Paul was trying to go and meet people in Jerusalem, it was only like 3 days he was there, and then he came out from there. And they were very clear about that. When the Paul was in Jerusalem, they were very clear about that what he is supposed to have, because as a disciple, and that's also if they're going to establish him in different places, that should be a different one that they should know who is he. So they have to announce it to everybody. Total, the places that we're supposed to. So they were looking for him in a timely fashion, but they couldn't find it. So I took it over. So coming back here to Paul's this thing. Um, um, when we think of Paul, of course he is eloquent, he is intelligent, and everything is there. Paul is intelligent and everything, but is he really a right person there to be there? What is the problem? What is the point going on there with Paul? So many things are discrepancies. Why he is not telling the right things at the right time? Paul never declares anything at the right time, because somebody says, then behind he may write a note or something like that. But Paul he himself never, never. What I can say, he wrote several books, at least 7 books, 6 books. I agree that one, not a problem. I'm talking about um, the what I can say. It's not a outfit or anything. It's like a sweater thing, right? So during the cold season, um, Paul, when he was in Jerusalem, when he couldn't able to succeed with those disciples, they told him to go to Rome, and Rome also he wasn't able to succeed. So he has to go to Antioch and so many other places, because Paul was not accepted by the people at the time. And moreover, you know, uh, this is not only about the very simple explanation of Paul. There are so many other things about Paul I want to talk to you guys. I want you to be paying attention on what I am telling, because Paul, when you compare to book, brother of James, brother of Jesus, he had only one book or one page. How about Paul has 13 books on that one? Who compiled all those things? How it happened? Like as I said, that there are 6 more or 7 more books were not available, or they don't know who wrote the book or something like that. Paul didn't write those books. Only 6 books Paul wrote. All the other ones, or it was not written by uh, Paul. That's one thing. So, but anyway, guys, let's see. Paul was an eloquent guy. Gamaliel, he said that he was studying in Gamaliel as a bachelor's person, but Gamaliel never claimed him that he is the new person or new addition, or Gamaliel never said in any other places, or no other Gamaliel student told whether Paul studied with them or not, or all did the those days student. I could maybe they may be a teacher today for me. So those days, those teachers, if there is anything happening, they immediately go to the principal and clear everything. Likewise, about Paul, when we talk, um, how to clarify from where he come, how did he come, why he went to Jerusalem, why he wasn't staying there in Jerusalem, what happened in Jerusalem, and the books that what he wrote, was a little bit confusing always, because it's a Matthew's book. So there are some of the other things that we should know about what like Paul was doing on those days. And I know I wanted to keep it short and then move forward for the next thing. But still, then I want to say that stay tuned for tomorrow. Also, I'm giving you just an introduction about the rooms, and I mean about Paul and everything. But maybe tomorrow when we come, probably I will elaborate more about Paul and what was Paul's idea and what he was doing, and also how Christianity looked Paul, and why Paul claimed by himself that he was the apostle. So many things that we should discuss and we must discuss. It needs to be discussed because we need that, folks. So I'll come back. Just stay tuned. I'm just giving a simple starting startup for Apostle Paul, but we'll try to continue and more by tomorrow if I can possible, or something by next week. So, folks, till then, Shabbat Shalom, Shavua. May God bless you and God be with you. As I said, what is that? By the time next week, if everything is set up, most probably that will be, that will be nice to have, all these things set up by next week. All right, guys. Shabbat Shalom, Shavua. May God bless you. Berkat Hashem Alaikum. Veishmarekum. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Talk later. Bye-bye.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל